Salt Radio láyé gbọ́. Ọmọdé bá ń gbọ́ ohùn ayé wọn yóò ládùn. Salt Radio láyé gbọ́. Alágbà bá ń gbọ́ ohùn á máa dùn mọ́ wọn ni o. Salt Radio láyé gbọ́. Àwọ̀délé tún ṣe yìí ó tún lárinrin ṣeun. Salt Radio láyé gbọ́. Àwọ̀délé tún ṣe yìí ó tún lárinrin gan ni. Salt Radio láyé gbọ́. Èmi ò tí rí bí tọ́ni sọ̀rọ̀ iyọ̀. Iyọ̀ ni ẹgbà fún iyọ̀ ní Salt Radio láyé gbọ́. Salt Radio ó ti da ó ti dùn ó ti lárinrin àṣepé iṣẹ́ ní tiwa ní gbogbo ìgbà.
Perfect everywhere. Salt Radio. Perfect everywhere. Salt Radio, perfect everywhere. Hey. With this, you know your program has come again. This is Historical Digest. If you are just joining us, this is Salt Radio Ibadan. This is the program where we bring you down to the memory lane. On this program, we have two segments. The first segment is Heroes of the Past, while the second segment is Today in History. Welcome to your darling program, the Historical Digest. Yes, we still there inside Africa. But one talk person way big today. That big man. You know, somebody was asking me something one day. You always go after terrible guys. But the fact remains that these terrible guys, we must discuss them. Yeah. Alright, I remain my humble self, Oluwaseun Oyewale on the MIC today, Mr. Double Ho. I am Olodira Oluwatosin, aka Mr. Nice. The Mr. Nice that is not nice. Alright, you can join this program on Facebook page. Salt Radio Ibadan. That's our Facebook page. Also, you can download our app on the Radio Garden app, the Simple Radio app, as well as the Zeno Radio app. For advert and sponsorship, you can call the studio line. You can see that on the screen. Better still, let me call it out for those of us listening via the applications. 3407042000 another 0019. All right, what do we have on Historical Digest today? Heroes of the Past. Tossing in a big fish. Big fish. You know, we always have big fish on the program anyways. Honestly. All right, because of our time, let's go straight to the program. Today we want to discuss somebody.
Our flight today is going to Libya.
Libya. So who do we have in Libya today?
Lo and behold, we have Muammar
Gaddafi. Coach, don't catch you, Ali.
Carry your chair and sit down as we bring you specific things about this man. You know, as we always tell you on this program, we are not here to insult anybody. We are just here to discuss our heroes of the past, especially in Africa. To you, these people, they might be wicked, but to us, we want to see their positive sides that needs discussion. And that is why you should always come to this program to listen to things like this.
Yes. Learn from the heroes of the past. All right, straight away, let's go to the early life of Gaddafi.
Muammar Gaddafi was born in 1942. He was born in Sirte, Libya. He was raised in a boarding tent in the Libya desert. He came from a tribal family called the Aquadafer. At the time of his birth, Libya was under an Italian colony. In 1951, Libya gained independence under the Western Allied King Idris. As a young man, Gaddafi was influenced by the Arab nationalist movement and admired Egyptian leader Gamal Abdel Nasser. In 1961, Gaddafi entered the military college in the city of Benghazi. He also spent 4 months receiving military training in the United Kingdom.
After graduating, Gaddafi steadily rose through all ranks in military. As this affection with Idris grew, Gaddafi became involved with movements of young officers to overthrow the king, a talented and charismatic man. Gaddafi rose to power in the group. Listen, before we continue, I want us to look at something as regards the life of Gaddafi, Idi Amin, and Abacha. You know, these men, they were exceptionally brilliant.
Exactly.
You know, it took them just little time for them to rise through all the ranks.
Yes.
But the problem they had was that they actually used their brilliance in the kind of way, I don't know.
All right, let us look at the involvement of Gaddafi in student instruction in the teachings of Quran. That's the sacred book of Islam. He attended the elementary school at Salt from 1953 to 1955. When his family moved to Vezan, that's the region in the south of Tripolitan. He continued his education at Sahara from 1956 to 1961. Inspired by the ideas and political actions of Egyptians Gamal Abdel Nasser, he organized students' demonstrations which led to his expulsion from the city. He then moved to the large coastal city of Misuratar, that is in the east of Tripoli. He completed his high school education between 1961. At the same time, he continued to organize a secret revolutionary movement.
In order for Gaddafi to enable himself to fulfill his political plans, he entered the military academy of Benghazi in October 1963 and persuaded other members of the movement to join him there. Together with these men and other converted members of the military, he set up the Central Committee of the Free Unionist Officer in 1964, which was organized along secretly collegial lines. In the same period, Gaddafi was enrolled in the University of Benghazi for 3 years, attending courses for a degree in history. In 1966, he took part in the training course at the Beaconsfield Military Academy in Great Britain. Having been promoted to the rank of lieutenant and assigned the Army Signal Corps based at Garunios, at Benghazi. Gaddafi broadened the base of the movement, the ramification of which only he was fully aware and acquired at the same time an ever-growing personal privilege. Gaddafi graduated from Libyan Military Academy in 1965 and thereafter rose steadily through the ranks.
What a man. Don't forget, we are still on Salt Radio. And this is Historical Digest. During the night of September 1, 1969, at a time when King Idris had already been abroad for several months for health reasons, Gaddafi gave the order, which had been deferred several times, for putting his long prepared plan into effect. The young officers easily seized power and proclaimed the Libyan Arab Republic. It was only on September 10 that it was noted that Gaddafi, now a colonel, was the president of the Revolutionary Command Council, RCC. the chief organ of the new regime.
Salt Radio, perfect everywhere.
Still on his rise to power, the revolutionary will of the new leader soon expressed itself in a series of law designs. Among other things, to do away with illegal benefits enjoyed by the representatives of the former regime and to overcome traditional tribal differences. Following the examples of Nazar, who had inspired this political development, Gaddafi called for the removal of American and British military bases. This was completed in June 1970. A series of measures affected the Italian still present in Libya in large number, ending in their mass expulsion in October 1970. At the same time, extensive nationalization of the financial, industrial, and commercial sector took place, in particular in the oil sector, and other significant reforms were commenced. Rise to power of Gaddafi.
Salt Radio, perfect everywhere.
Still on Gaddafi, during his regime, among the modifications carried out within the institutions and political organizations, Libya after the revolution, one could detect Gaddafi's determination his desperate tenaciousness in the face of difficulties. The people, as far as possible, in the direct exercising of political power. In February 1971, he announced the creation of the Arab Socialist Union (ASU), which bore the same name as the sole Egyptian political party. The ASU formally set up on June 11, 1971. At its first Congress in April 1972. Rejecting all expressions of regional and class interest, the ASU intended to provide a large popular base for the revolution. In July 1972, Gaddafi vacated the office of the President of the Council of Ministers, which he had occupied since January 1970. He dedicated himself from time on to the theorization of the principle of the revolution, which were later laid down in the Green Book. In April, Gaddafi also gave up all protocol and administrative duties associated with the head of state.
Just in case you are just joining this program, this is Salt Radio Ibadan, and the program is Historical Digest. Presently, we are on the heroes of the past, and so far so good. We have been discussing Gaddafi of the Libya. In February 2009, Gaddafi was elected chairman of the African Union (AU), and later that year gave his first speech before the UN General Assembly. The lengthy critical speech, in which he threw a copy of the UN Charter, generated a significant measure of controversy within the international community. In early 2010, Gaddafi's attempt to remain as chairman of the AU beyond the customary one-year term was met with resistance from several other African countries and ultimately was denied.
Gaddafi married twice during his lifetime. His first wife, Fatah Narui, brought him a son in 1970, and she parted her ways with him that same year. Subsequently, he married Shafar Fakar, and the couple was blessed with 7 children. So straight away we are moving to the achievements of Gaddafi. Don't forget Gaddafi of Libya.
Achievement to his credit. Alright, let's look at a few of his achievements. Gaddafi carried out the world's largest irrigation project. The largest irrigation system in the world, also known as the Great Man-Made River, was designed to make water readily available to all Libyans across the entire country. Imagine.
In Libya, a home is considered a natural human right. In Gaddafi's Green Book, basic need for both the individual and the family. Therefore, it should not be owned by others. Gaddafi's Green Book is the former leader's political philosophy. It was first published in 1975 and was intended reading for all Libyans, even being included in the national curriculum.
Still on the achievements of Gaddafi of Libya. Something shocked me here.
Given a free house.
Come again.
A free house, a farmland, and livestock, as well as seed, all for free. Imagine.
Give birth. She was given $5,000 for herself and the child.
Also under Gaddafi regime, electricity free.
Imagine. Let's talk about petrol. During Gaddafi's regime, of petrol in Libya was as low as $0.14 per liter. 0.14 liter. During his regime, Libya had its own state bank. This bank provided loans to citizens at 0% interest by law, and they had no external debt.
Imagine what a man. Some people are expecting us to talk about that.
Exactly.
Before the fall of Tripoli and its ultimate demise, Gaddafi was trying to who first coined the term United States of Africa. Gaddafi wanted to introduce an only trade in the Africa gold dinar, a move which would have thrown the world economy into chaos.
Of Gaddafi. On October 20, 2011, Libyan officials announced that Gaddafi had died near his hometown of Sirte, Libya. Earlier reports had conflicting accounts of his death, with some stating that he had died by a NATO body being dragged around by fighters.
For months, Gaddafi and his family had been at large, believed to be hiding in the western part of the country, still had small pockets of support. As news of the former dictator's death spread, Libyans poured into the streets, celebrating what his death. Gaddafi ruled Libyans for 42 years. That started from September 1st, 1969 to 2nd of March, 2011.
Alright, because of our time, let's go straight to today's history.
If you remember, today is July 9, and that is 198th day of the year, 191st in the leap year. In the Gregorian calendar, 175 days remain until the end of the year. In 1357, Emperor Charles IV assist in laying the foundation stone of Charles Bridge in Prague.
1540, July 9, King Henry IX of England annulled his marriage to his fourth wife, Anne Claire.
The inaugural Wimbledon Championship begins.
1900, July 9, the Federation of Australia is given a royal assent.
In 1986, July 9, 1986, the New Zealand Parliament that legalized
2011, July 9, 2011, South Sudan gains independence and secedes from Sudan.
In July 9, 2002, the African Union is established in Addis Ababa, that is Ethiopia. It replaces the Organization of African Unity, OAU. The organization's first chairman in Thabo Mbeki, the then president of South Africa.
All right, with that, we have come to the end of this program. Thanks so much.
All right, from my side, I am Urodira Oluwatusin, aka Mr. Nye.
Thanks so much. Catch ya later.